Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So, I feel like we keep doing a poetry reading. So, here we are. Clean your room. This is from Starlight, the book. Excuse me. Excuse me. Clean your room. Houses and spaces represent to discover different personalities and hobbies, themed and cleaned to specific parts of our beings. But I'm a fully fleshed out person, and my house reflects everything that I like to do, cluttered and piled on the middle of the living room floor. Mind frame. I read poetry until I write, a secret language I used to communicate in. I'm reminded of she and how different my brainwaves used to be. I'm caught up in the changes that have happened. 11 years now. Is it? It's many more. I still have your thoughts swirling in my journals, signaling and showing me the ways we used to. I miss my idea of you, my mind frame through the high school years. But I remember living it was hell. I long to relive the years, but with my older brain. For now, I'll just write and revisit the page. Childbearing years. They made me terrified to have a baby, always checking every month. The tension, terror, building and mounting until it was released in a welcome storm of blood and emotions and cramps. I finally broke out of the cycle after about 10 years of worry. I no longer believe I will be pregnant because of all the years it hasn't been true. But I won't try to have a baby inside of me because because I've equated my womb space as an empty place. Because they don't want pregnant 15-year-olds, and by the time I'm 30, the habit is too ingrained to break. Every once in a while, a feeling will sneak past, wanting to leave a legacy, having a friend when I'm older, like I am for my mom, plans for the future. But it is squelched by knowing how much trouble kids are, how exhausted I'll be, wondering if I can keep my health up on top of all the responsibilities, the realities of single and double parent families, and how thin the parents will be spread to keep a beautiful newborn alive. It takes a village, and we don't have that anymore. Food. It is ridiculous that I've spent most of my life thinking I was ill, that there was some medical diagnosis I could figure out and some pill I could take to fix it. Why did I have to pop Tums at all hours? Because of the meat I've been eating? Was force-fed grain that caused their indigestion? What Band-Aid did they use? Coat their feed with Tums to force more grain down their gullets than into mine. I'm regurgitating their pain from the grains through mine. I'm sick with the foods I eat. When I fasted, I didn't have any stomach problems. Sure, I had exhaustion problems, lack of energy problems, but my ever-burning stomach stopped hurting. I didn't have to take a pill. I just had to stop consuming the problem, food. The food pyramid is a joke, invented by food-like product producers. Sugar shouldn't be on the pyramid, yet is revered at the top, a place reserved for sacred space. But it isn't anything we need on our plates. Hang on just a minute. I'm going to be loud. Bubby! Stop it! Come inside! Come on! Problem. Tightness of chest. Acid reflux burn. Add Tums. Still tense. Deep breaths. There's poison in our food system, killing us, diseasing us. Medicines to fix us don't solve the problem. We're going to need a bigger band aid. Stress, ever building and increasing. Antidepressants in the water system, building up in our bloodstreams. Take several steps back to assess. Solution. Solve, search, solution. Found in the small scale farming, in meditation, in community, in singing and pleasure seeking, in pet ownership. Creativity fosters creativity. An inspired self inspires others. Be the change you want to see happen in the world. It is prime time to align the spine, spiritual chakras, breathwork in deep. Just a second again. Belvedere, come inside now! Belly! Sorry, I had to use my mean mommy voice talking with those puppies in there. The sweetness. My sugar-encrusted lips, dried with the past cravings and indulgences of sugar. Come inside, go around, come inside, come on. All the way in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, come all the way in. Yes. Good boy. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. And indulgences of sugar. Addictions, harder to face. I can only stay clean for 3 days. Acid initially scorches the brain, then leaves it longing for more. Coated with wet sucralose crystals, caked into my hair. Belly like a goat. Belly, goat, billy, goat, gruff. Run from downtown. The hickeys on my neck of a downtown kitchen house, walls white, streaming with sun, restless as he fell back asleep at 10 a.m. and ran into my friend's arms. We all piled in a sized bed. We were anointed girlfriends one day of the week, had shared a weekend of Labor Day. We had bought Oatly, our civil union rat, hiked through the forest and creek barefooted. 2 girls from Craigslist came to his house looking for a puppy. They rang and rang and rang the doorbell. We were downstairs cuddling. He finally came upstairs naked and answered the door. I approached and he introduced me. This is my wife, Jenna. We are nudists. Let this be a lesson to answering Craigslist ads. The thing about sexual harassment is, I think I really enjoy it. Being alive. This is this. Has it always been? Never knowing until it's over, living like a sunbeam. Cut out all the etch-a-sketches, shake up the paper hearts, run up and down screaming, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. Are you? Do you know alive? Are you living? Are you only living? Or are you a lie? Kentucky girl, wearing coveralls, driving a pickup truck, and living in Kentucky. These are 3 things I never thought would describe me, but currently they are all describing me right now. I have so many people inside of me wanting to shine through. Right now I'm a farmer out surveying my land, keeping an eye on the compost, and watching watering patterns. Right now, I'm walking, listening to nature, and trying to drown out the noise of the highway. Right now, I'm wandering the backyard. Right now, I'm using jumper cables to keep my truck up and running. Right now, I'm popping the jumper cables onto my little brown car. Right now, I'm writing you, wishing you the best, whoever you may become. Me. Identity crisis. Myself is a lack of identity. I've yet to find a me I truly relate to because all the me's I find are found through others' eyes. Ideas of my potential or what could have been, but nothing of that me is that now. I now am not running after anything that will give me a chance to define myself and say, this is what I am. But it never sticks because it isn't what I already am.
Belvedere, inside, now! Lady, come on, both of you, now. Inside. All the way. Thank you. You guys stay inside. You're inside, see. You're inside, see.
My apologies. But now we can read some more. Pause. Painting inside the lines. Practicing painting. Pizza cutters that cut paper faster to make mountains. Keep filming that movie you'll be shooting for years. Inspiration is fast, random, synapse. Seize it when it flies by and run like the wind with it. Perception may be wrong. Story, write a comma backwards. Pause. Preconceptions are wrong. Blankness is possibility. You will always need more space, no matter how much you make. What if we? The most powerful suggestion statement. As the sweetness increases in my mouth from the torn skin of salt and vinegars, you could have been my pineapple. Belly follower. Following my little fat belly as it leads me around to the grocery, fast food chain, to the chocolate, and reminding me of ice cream again. Don't forget my favorite, chocolate chip cookies, bellies, safe havens, holding spaces, driven by desires not entirely thoughtful, wringing their hands and pleading, feed me, fatten me, then try to flatten me, suck me in, breathe me into a swimsuit, jeans, but don't smash me. I can make your life hell, but if you obey me, I'll still hurt you. Do you want to come up here? You want to be on a live stream? Can I have you? I can. What if I? Anyways, what if I? Oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. You get back here. You get back here. Don't you move at me. Your house. I have lived here for 1 year, yet I still call this your house. I have moved every piece of your things out of the rooms we lived in, into the kitchen and the closet room. I've decided what I wanted the floors to become. I've decided what color to paint the rooms. I've hired people, I've fired people, I've done most of the work myself. Then we started moving things back into the rooms. Things to keep, things to toss. I wish we'd cleaned the kitchen differently, instead of when we thought we were moving out completely and took nearly everything to Goodwill. I hate how he wants the curtains, always drawn, to keep the outside world out. I'm not huge on them, but I lust after my natural light and seeing the rhythms of the day. So every day we resume our fight, close the curtains at night, reopen them in the morning. Night comes, and we shy away. Day comes, and I want to embrace it, but can't without action to welcome. But I want to live in a white house, so bright with light that it brings color. But I choose to paint this house rainbow. I'm not even sure why. I just choose my favorite colors and painted the house with them. I want to live in a house with hardwood floors that the natural light streams onto, leaving its sunlit veils. I carpeted and hardwooded sections of this house, but I hate living with the hardwood laminate. Even if it's beautiful, elegant, no one told me I'd need to clean it every day or wear socks, not to feel the grit that the carpet hides. I want a big and sprawling house with secret passageways, and for the house to seem like it expands endlessly. And here I am, in 1,100 square feet. I want to live in the country, in the forest, so I don't have to worry about the privacy of the drapes. A feeling I'd never felt before until living with him. But here I am, with 10,000 square feet of lawn I'm trying to kill. At least it isn't a postage square lawn. At least there are two of them. I long for some place else, but am so thankful that at least I have this. I am not homeless. I do not live in a box. I finally found space for my computer and typewriter to live. I'm making myself a garden, albeit a bit unconventional. I tried for one last year, and the lawn overtook it in 2 days. So I became the cardboard gatherer. I've become the leaf bag stealer. I've created lasagna in my own backyard as the winter rains pour down upon it. At least I'm half happy here, and I couldn't be happier with my clear curtain, natural light, white bathtub, and bright blue walls bathroom. If you need me, I'll be in here, my most comfortable room. Put me in a tub of hot water, and I'll stay waiting for you. No longer a need to run away from home. From the internet came a box, and from the box we inflated a hot tub, a safe haven of warm water, if you can stand to pay the electricity bill. Into my plant room where my babies bloom, bringing light and life and green and wonder, and then blooms. To music, who saved me twice. Thank you. Your beck and call, your ebb and flow. As a teen, your constant flow was in my ears, helping me to feel and channel emotions, if not in the most healthful way, at least in a raw way that only teenagers are capable of feeling. I remember the isolation, feeling like no one had felt like this before or ever would again. Little did I know that I would never be able to feel this way again. The depths of teen spirit. Moved along past 2018 into my New Year's. Financial freedom didn't bring independence. Here comes 2022, and I can say with confidence that music moves you, frees you, makes you dance and sing for the joy of it, has given you a reason to put a new bow on the way you create and move in different shapes. Resonate this new shade of poetry. A way to move. A song so temporary, being engulfed to music. Such a different way to live. In the moment, waiting for the next beat and counting your footfalls. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4. Repetition, finding a new way to grow myself and my brain, ingrained in the rhythm, and still always learning, trying to change. Gleaned poetry. My room smells like you and your scent, a nautically entrancing day, followed by an evening of condoms and crackers. Be more brilliantly colorful. I've come to love the sound of a mason jar screw top lid landing on its glass counterpart. The purest pleasures of pursuing pleasant. 11:30 never felt so late as when I stayed up with you. Salamander comfort and the pieces pounded the glass. Under first kisses that make starlight silence and street lights last. Sometimes our job is to go around making pretty things and making people question their existence. She put her book down. It was getting too dark to read as the sun finished its departure from her countryside of the world, eating sour cream and onion potato chips in a snowstorm, and I too meta to enjoy the snowflakes swirling around me. Dad's light and clock, yellow, reminds me of Samson. All the Things I Can't Believe, 2017. I'm laying on a white bed with a glass of red wine. How much I missed eating a certain type of seaweed. That it is 2 in the afternoon. How incredibly busy and productive I've been since I've moved, but still haven't managed to produce a piece of art. That I can talk to Swoon, a famous artist, in person on Tuesdays and Thursdays. How much I don't miss home when I don't stop to think of it. But when I'm there, it leaves me with such a sense of miss. How much harder leaving is than staying left. The amount of homework I have. How peaceful I feel. That I'm living with my boyfriend, my partner, the adult word for it. That I'm not married? It feels like by living together you are married, especially when neither of you has an alternative place to live. How much I don't hate my apartment. That there is parkour, acro, and aerial yoga studios fairly close to me, all in one, all at once. Cincinnati is an all right place. How to write a poem. As a writer trying to write, I find nonfiction to be something that I can sit down and write. But when prompted to write on this book, I think the idea absurd. One cannot simply sit down to write a poem. Can one? A poem must flow through one. One must realize the poem is there, jump up and grab it before it slips away, and pin it down to keep it safe. Feel the feeling that the poem gives you. Write about the moment you are living in. Editing and revision may come later, or the poem may have fully formed itself before it felt ready to present. But grab that beautiful poem and let it sit with you. Catch it as 100 words flow out and see if they build, blossom, bloom into 500. Before you know it, you've written 1,000 words about one image. and I'll be calling back to you. A cup of tea in hand, a letter written in another, and the sentences seem to flow, one not always knowing where they lead, or are going, or where they've come from, but they all always fly towards the page with a black flurry of wings. When they flow, they go, 322 words suddenly spikes to 400 in what seems like mere moments. But when the rush of water has been squelched off, it may never flow again. Reach for a typewriter, reach for an old piece of discarded writing, reach for another author, and fill your well with words so as they pour out again, becoming ever abundant, multiplying with fractal like attitudes until they become ever abundant, multiplying, pinning down the past like a butterfly until you are full, out of page, out of space, out of rage. But know there will always be more on the ever infinite expression of a Word document. Until you hit the maximum number of words on Google Documents, which is a thing. Why then am I caught up in? Whenever has it been this hard to pull words out of me? When have I ever tried to pin more than what was already brimming out from within? Only when I wrote 1,000 words about one image, and for school, have I ever had a writing goal. I've been a waiting writer, not a sit down and write her. But I feel such a sense of accomplishment when I can make the goal. I feel powerful with my words, counting them out, 100 turning to 300, then to 700, then there I am, and then I am there, finding my way to over 1,000 words in a day. 100 words is never a problem, such an easy goal to attain. When it comes to doing that 10 times before breakfast, the challenge arises. Somehow I will find a way to stretch my way there today. How long does it take to write 100 words? Not very long, when the moment flows through. But pulling of teeth of putting words down can take hours to bear, digging deep and picking out roots, finding new paths to pace myself down, and all before I hear the timer sound. Now I'm left with 100 words. I remember earlier when I wrote of how easily 100 words would flow, but now, yet again, I'm hit with resistance. How many words to add into a sentence? Write it right. You never hear poetry about hard work and hammers because they don't need to write poetry. If you're trying to free a tortured artist's soul, pick up a hammer and swing. Better yet, with a little training, a circular saw or a nail gun. Build something with your hands. Take a look at the hard work. Go home feeling tired in your bones. Know you've put in a good day's work, and know you will be doing the same tomorrow and the next day. Fill the pot, sit on it, let it simmer, and let the words boil over onto the page they've been longing to fill. An empty kettle will not boil. Remember to refill it and give it time to steep. Stop to smell the photos. Photography is stopping and acknowledging the everyday. Take time to pause and a time to project this moment into the future. Will I want to remember this then? Finding the mundane worthy and putting it in a frame. When I look at an image I've taken, I see the past and the life I was living at that time. I am thankful I am able to recall with such clarity that moment because it was frozen in the frame. I may be able to recall other parts of the day or what emotions I was feeling or what people I was with. Photographs will stay, although my memory fades. Bring the images into your memory membrane if you'd like to remember them again. Take time to write, express, or find a way to remember. Print this, burn this, set fire to the wind, embed these words into your skin. Dear future me, I'm writing this for me to come upon this again in the future. Love, present me. Hello to his Seattle dreams. The best of first comfortable touches, laying in the entryway, door open, kittens on his chest, and loss of consciousness, knowing that there was a baby in my breast, with fingers smaller than stirring straws, soothed wind bounds. Thank you for first dates and first kisses beneath street lamps, in time and conversation and listens, thinking we balance each other with our encounters. You, fear of doing or asking with my indulgence of both of them. So I get to think and do and not be so wildly reckless abandon. But when I am home, clean out of the shower, clean out of the first shower I'd wanted to take in weeks. I was drying. I heard a storm approaching, then the echo of raindrops as they flew their way to by, and I step out and into them. Their first splashes collided by my sides, and I was one of them, With them, rain, quickly collaborating and splattering, wettened for days. The line, to knowing exactly when to leave, when staying after park closing, long enough to know we were in trouble, but fleeing as the sheriff drove by and back by, and I said, to drive, no camping tonight, but home on time, and a goodnight kiss that said, we've got it right. We are closer to the stars atop mountain tops, the iciness environment, and the feeling like arms are light, with flying after being held down, after lifting, not knowing how to publicly express grief. Heaven, we are already here. We just have to realize it. Salt and vinegar smell still left on fingers, honey chapstick soon to be had, cleansing of vinegar burn, leaving the inside of my mouth. Two new parallel lines.